336 today, 336. So yesterday we talked about creating equations with adding and subtracting. Today we're going to work on equations and strip diagrams with multiplying and dividing. Okay, so look at question number 1. It's got a strip diagram. Obviously on the STAR test you're not going to be, you can't create one, but you need to be able to read one. Okay, so number 1 says what? Abby, read it to us. Okay, so when this is right here, this is what I call a bracket, is meaning your total. So if I were to have, even like this, if I were to have a square over here to the left, and it was P, that P would not be included because it's not in my total. So when it does that, it's talking about your total of that amount of things, whether it's 3 squares or 2 squares or 17 squares, nonetheless. Okay, so what am I exactly doing here? Well, it's telling me my equation is, how would I go about solving this? How would I go about solving this problem? Like normally we would solve this problem. Hayden?
96 divided by 3.
96 divided by 3 equals P. You're exactly right. So, but on the contrary, what they're wanting us to think about is looking at another way to solve this problem using the strip diagram. And they're telling us that what you've got here is your total. Okay, and so this technically needs to be your equal sign. Okay, so, or it doesn't have to be your equal sign, but they're giving us a hint saying this is my equal sign. So if my equal sign is 96, then what do I have going on here that's going to equal 96? What do I have going on there? Allie? What do I have going on there in that picture right there, that strip diagram, Cassie?
You're going to multiply
3 times P, right? 3 P's, right? So now there's about a couple different ways you can write this. You can say 3 times P. You can do 3 P's or 3 dot P. Sometimes people even do this in parentheses. Any of those are acceptable ways. Today you're going to see these 2 ways written. So if you want to write 3P or 3 times P equals 96, that's still fine. Okay? So if my equation is 3P's is 96, how am I going to figure out what the value of P is? Cassie?
You're going to divide 96 by 4.
Excellent. You can also look at these as facts family. Look over here, guys. 3 times P is 96. P times 3 is 96. Therefore, 96 divided by 3 is what?
P.
And 96 divided by P is 3. So if I'm looking for my P value, if I'm looking for my value of P, I would do 96, as Cassie just said, 96 divided by 3, and that is 32. So 1 pencil costs 32 cents. All right, number 2. Read that to us, Mr. Stoker.
The gardener is planting 6 rows of spring bulbs. Each one has 15 bulbs. How many bulbs does he plant in? Let B equal the total number of bulbs. The equation here is to multiply 6 times 15 to get B.
Okay, so here we can do a couple of different things. Okay, we can do a couple of different things. We could simply say 6, why 6? Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times what?
6.
15. 6 times 15 is B. We could do 6 times 15 is B. Anybody know what else I could do? Madison.
15 times 6.
Okay, which is absolutely the other one. Sorry. Maybe it should be 6. What else could I do? Allie.
You can do 6 times B equals 6. Oh wait, never mind. You can do B divided by 6 equals 6.
Nice job. B divided by 6 equals 15. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say real quickly that B divided by 15 is 6. because they already know that there's 6. The question would be, over here, what is inside of those boxes? So they already know that this is going to be. So really, this one isn't going to be your best bet. So this one or one of these is going to be fine. Either way, it doesn't matter, because it's solving for the variable of b. But you have to be able to see, today, you're going to be able to read it this way or this way. Okay? So however you want to do it, you want to do b divided by 6. I'm taking b and dividing it to 6. Is 15. Or 6 times 15 is the inverse, which would be able to tell me I have how many? 90. Okay? All right, so let's look at number 3. Go ahead and you're going to find some room at the right at the top of your paper or on 337. There's some area that says show your work. Here in a minute I'll give you some notebook paper to do some other things. So if you're looking at number 3, you've got the problem 128 is equal to or the same as 8 times d. Okay? So 128 is equal to 8 times d. Well, pardon me. Can I multiply 8 times d? Do I know the value of d?
No.
No, I don't know the value of d. So therefore, the two numbers that I'm going to be able to work with, ladies and gentlemen, are 128 and 8. What am I going to do with 128 and 8 to get the value of d? So now I'm kind of going backwards. We've talked about this with fact families. What do I do? Divide. We're going to divide. So please divide 128 divided by 8 on your paper, please. Please divide 128 by 8 on your paper. All right. How many times can 128 be divided by 8? Everybody?
16.
So, therefore, d is equal to 16. And does it make sense that if I were to plug in 16 for the value of d, is it logical that 8 times 16 is 128? Yes. Two smaller numbers multiplied together makes a larger number. All right, let's look at question 4. Question 4 is r is divided by 9. R divided by 9 is 17. So can I do r divided by 9? No. So therefore I have to look at these two numbers. What am I going to do with these two numbers, Delaney? The real problem is r divided by 9 is 17. Therefore, I have to go backwards, and when I go backwards, I do the opposite. So what am I going to do?
7.
Multiply. So please multiply 17 times 9. And what did you get?
153.
Is it logical, going back to that purple hexagon, is it logical that I can put 153, divide it 9 times, and get 17 as your answer?
Yes.
The answer is yes. Please do number 5 by yourself. Okay, what is my problem here? My problem is 6n is the same thing as 78. Emma, what am I going to do here, sweetheart? I'm going to divide, absolutely. If I can't multiply, what is the other operation I can do? Divide. Because multiplication is the what of division?
Inverse.
Inverse, which is the same thing as division. So therefore, M is what? 13. Please turn your page to 338. Please turn your page to 338. 338. All right, here we go. So, number 12, read it to us, Jaden.
Miss June took a vacation to Neptune. His vacation lasted for 144 hours. A day on Neptune lasts 16 hours. Which equation and permission allows how many days Mr. June's vacation lasted?
All right. So, what do we do? So what, without looking at this, guys, without looking at this, how would I solve that? Without looking at my answer choices, how would I solve that, Gabby?
Division.
Okay, I would divide 144 divided by 16 to get H, the number of hours, or I think, I don't think this is D. Oh, days. All of my answer choices are days. Do I have 144 divided by 16 over here?
No.
But is this the true way that you would solve it? Absolutely. Okay? So what is another way? Well, let's look at my facts family. If I know 144 divided by 16 is D, then 144 divided by D is 16. So what is the inverse of division? Multiplication. So if 144 divided by D is 16, then what can I say for my multiplication? 16 times D is 144. And D times 16 is 144. Now look at my answer choices. Do I have one of those equations on A, B, C, or D?
Yes.
What do I have, Austin, on one of those equations? First of all, quickly, divide, multiply, divide. Multiply, add. I can take two of them off right there. Correct?
Yes, Mom.
So, do I have 16 times 144 over here?
No.
What is the same thing as 16 D's?
16 days.
Or 16 what? Times D. 16D, guys, is the same thing as saying 16 times D. 16D. 16 times D is the same thing as saying 16 times D. Make sense? So which one of those is my answer choice? A. All right, number 13. Which equation does the strip diagram represent? So you can do it a couple of different ways. Okay, let's look at it. Are there 6 A's that's going to equal 12? Do I have 6 A's?
Yes.
I have 6 A's? How many A's do I have?
One.
So 6 times A is going to give me 12?
No.
Do 12 A's equal 6?
No.
Think about your A, first of all. Your A is going to be a decently large number. Okay? B. A divided by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that going to equal 12?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
A plus 6. Am I adding 6 to A one time to get me 12? Do I have anything happening one time? No, I don't. Okay? So, again, this is how I would solve it. 12 times 6 equals A, which is therefore 6 times 12 equals A. Being a fact family, then I would say A divided by 6 equals 12, or A divided by 12 equals 6. So therefore, B is my answer. Okay, I'd like for you to now look at number 15. Please read and complete 15 by yourself. Okay, so here we go. What am I going to do? 7p is equal to 13. Excuse me, 133. So, what am I going to do? I can't multiply 7 times p to get 33 because I don't know what the value of p. So how am I going to figure out the value of p? Division. 133 divided by 7. If I divide 103 divided by 7, ladies and gentlemen, what is the value of my p? 19. Okay, so what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to tear out your gold pages. I'm going to come around and give you a piece of notebook paper, as that's what we're going to use today.
This is what I did.
Okay, number 1 on your gold page. Number 1 on your gold page. It does not give you enough room to multiply and divide on this paper. That's why I want work done on a notebook paper. Number 1, c divided by 5 is 13. I cannot physically divide c 5 times to get 13. So what am I going to do, Emerson, with 5 and 13, sweetheart?
Five.
So if I were to have 5,
Wait, I don't.
okay,
Oh,
So-
multiply.
multiplies 13 times 5, 65. Emerson, is it logical that 65 divided 5 times is 13? Mm-hmm. You were talking earlier, sweetheart, 13 divided by 5, that's like 2 and 2.5 maybe, not even really 2.5. Okay? Is it logical, Emerson, that 2.5 divided by 5 is 13? And so I'm just trying to show you, think of logic. If you're unsure of yourself, well, you only have 2 choices, right, baby? You only have 2 choices. So number 1, the value of c is 65. Number 2, 112 is equal to the same thing as 7 times b. So, if I cannot multiply 7b times to get 112, therefore what am I going to do with 7 and 112? Divide. So 112 divided by 7. How many times can 7 go into 42?
16.
16 times, so therefore the value of b is 16. I'd like for you to go down to 15, mark 15 off. On 13 and 14, you're going to make equations. You're going to do 2 things. You're going to, how many fabric squares, but you're also going, in your equation, let F represent the number of fabric squares. In your equation, let C represent. So you're going to write an equation, and you're going to solve for it. So you're going to have 2 things on 13, 2 items on 14. Okay, if you want to continue on, great. I'll let you, but if not, I'm going to do 3 and 4 with you if you'd like to watch. Question 3. 4p is equal to the same thing as 68. I cannot multiply 4 times p, but I know that 4p and 68 are a fact family. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. Therefore, I'm going to divide 68 divided by 4. By the way, when you do all of this today, you should not have a remainder because you are working with fact families. Fact families, do fact families have remainders?
No.
Never. You will never have a remainder with a fact family. So if that is a note to yourself and just a little freebie for you, if you're doing some division today and you have a remainder, 2 things. You did it wrong, the process, or you should have done the opposite, which is multiplication. Number 4, 9 is equal to, excuse me, that's a D. 9 is equal to D divided by 21. I can't divide D 21 times. So if 9, D, and 21 are fact families, my division isn't working. What should I do now, Delaney? Multiply. 21 times 9. Is it logical that D is 189?
Yes.
I divide it 21 times and get 9? Yes. Gabby, turn my
Wait, do
iPad
we
off.
have to put like D